Well, for Drew, I decided to kind of cover the whole every person's job is important, really. What he did on the ship every day was constant drilling to make sure that they were doing their jobs right, because when you're dealing with a nuclear reactor, it's kind of serious. I mean, that's what keeps the ship going, and the technology down there, it's kind of crazy. But I just kind of decided to include these little blurbs within his experience down there, kind of what I would do in my daily life, and whether it was something really simple like fixing the hot plates or toasters that they were using to make food, or if it was putting out a fire, like crazy things like that. So I kind of wanted to focus more on how I thought that every person's job in the military is important, whether you're facing combat or you're firing a torpedo or you're just like maintaining the equipment that, or the vessel that's being used. So that's kind of the angle that I wanted to go with there, but it got really interesting in terms of how I wanted to show the frames or whatnot. So more so since he was on a submarine, like framing the different, I guess, not shots, but just the different drawings that, yeah, the different compartments on the page. I decided to use like submarine piping or just little details like that, or after doing research for how the nuclear reactor and the engine rooms are set up, like all the series of piping and heat vents that everything has to go through, I decided to kind of make that an element in my comic or my visual interpretation of his life on there. So I think that kind of like all adds to it. I think I've always had a deep respect for veterans, and I think that at some point everybody should do some sort of public service. I think it's necessary. And my grandfather was a veteran. He served in the Korean War, and just the stories that I hear from him are kind of inspiring in terms of, wow, that's really brave. Like, you're literally signing your life over to the country. You're kind of just like laying your life down, and I thought that that was really, really kind of something that you have to be a specific type of person to do that, and I just respect that completely. But after this, it's interesting hearing how much people are willing to share and how much sometimes people just aren't willing to go there, and it really makes you think about the type of experiences you have in your life and what, or just how deeply that can really affect a person. But as far as, I think, it changing before and after, I think I have even more respect for them, if that's possible. But it kind of, I guess, just makes me more interested in the whole experience when I see a veteran now. I'm like, oh, where'd you serve? What did you do? Like, just little things like that. So I don't know. And it's funny because I was telling my friend last night how I was interviewing my first vet, Drew, and he said, well, aren't veterans older? And I'm like, no, they're people who've already served, and they're done. But it's just interesting how some people kind of perceive things like that. But once you've had an experience like this, you're, well, you know more about it, so you're better for it, I think.